Welcome, everybody, and thanks for joining. My name is Loomba. I'm your host for today's meetup. I'm in the commercial real estate investing space with special focus on multifamily investing. I'm an investor and a syndicator, and also a co founder and CEO of Loomba Investment Group. I love to help and educate people on real estate investing and passive income or mailbox money. I host meetups every other week on Fridays and bring some interesting topics on real estate multifamily investing and syndications with some great guests who are subject matter experts. I'm always seeking investor partners and love to build strong connections. Please feel free to reach out and connect via social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta, if you are not already connected. Please visit my website, loombainvest.com, to download a free ebook, 7 Reasons Why Real Estate Syndications Build Long-Term Wealth. Before we get started, I have a small little disclaimer. This presentation is strictly for educational purposes and should not be considered as a legal, accounting, or investment advice. This presentation does not represent an offer to sell or solicitation of an offer to purchase an investment in security. The strategies mentioned in the presentation may not be applicable for everyone. So please consult your own attorney, financial advisors, and CPAs for legal matters, investments, and specific tax situations. Once again, this session is strictly for educational purposes only. Today, our special guest is Dr. Adam Gower, and our topic is growth of crowdfunding. Dr. Adam Gower, he does not need an introduction. However, a little bit about him. He's a seasoned real estate professional with over 30 years of finance and investment experience, who today builds digital marketing systems for real estate professionals who want to find more investors so they can raise money. And he has taught over 4,000 individuals how to build wealth, preserve capital, and earn passive income for investing in real estate. Adam is the foremost authority on real estate crowdfunding and has published 5 books. 5 books, okay? This Unleashed reveal the truth behind crowdfunding and shows how it has become a major force in real estate finance. So let's welcome our special guest, Dr. Adam Gowers. Thank you for joining us today. We are super delighted to have you with us.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Vinky. Thanks for having me. I hope my sound quality is good. I hope you can hear me all right.
I can hear you very well.
All right, good.
Everybody can hear you, right? Raise your hands if you cannot hear him.
All right, we're good.
Okay. So our topic is, you said, you're gonna come and teach us about the crowdfunding, how we can raise capital like easily, some tools or tips that you can share with us.
Sure. All right, we can do that. So I do really the best way to do this is to give you some practical examples of best practices, and the best way to do that is to look at websites. So I'm actually going to tap in here. Please enter your website URL. I'm going to send that to everybody. And if we get a couple of those, I'll do some actual case studies for you. So I'm going to start. Look, the best way to talk about anything, I think, my general policy is start at a 101 level and then dive deep fast, right? Everybody's bright, intelligent, and well-educated. So I'm just going to assume that you don't know anything about crowdfunding, but that you'll get it quickly while we're talking, and then we'll dive into it. And I would love, if you've got any questions, please ask questions. Let me know. I am an ask me anything kind of fella. So the short story of crowdfunding, we'll just keep it really short, is that actually crowdfunding is nothing new. It's actually over 150 years old. Everybody likes to think that it's something absolutely brand new, but it isn't. By any other name, crowdfunding is, or by another name, crowdfunding is really nothing more than syndications, just syndications. Syndications have been used to finance real estate and infrastructure, and building the backbone of America was all syndicated from the crowd in the late 1800s. So crowdfunding is really nothing new. What is new is that in 1933, it was prohibited by law to advertise a syndicate. You weren't allowed to do that. You were not allowed to go out and say, invest in my syndication. And very simply speaking, in 2000, unless you knew somebody in advance. And then in 2012, that law changed, and suddenly you were allowed to advertise. I mean, really, that's all there is to it. It's as simple as that. So what that did then in 2012 was it created the opportunity for real estate sponsors, not just to advertise, but to really become visible online, right? So you were on your website, you were prohibited from really doing anything solicitous until 2012. Now you can do just about everything you want. So the effect of that is that an industry like real estate, or the real estate industry, that since 1933 had really been prohibited from using digital marketing, suddenly was allowed to use digital marketing. So now you can employ any tactic, any strategy that you want to market your projects to raise money. You can ask anybody if they'd like to invest with you, with some variations on it. I mean, it's not quite as simple as that, but at a high level, you can now put a flag up on your website that says, invest with me. And before, you were unable to do that. So what that means is that real estate developers don't have to raise money one person at a time anymore. You don't have to go to meetups. You don't have to go to events. You don't have to shake hands. You don't have to join country clubs. You don't have to ask your accountant or your lawyer if they know anybody that's got money and will they make an introduction and create all those awkward, connections, or go through the in-person palaver. Plus, more importantly, you no longer have to spend hours and hours and hours with anybody, persuading them about your deal, teaching them about your background, what you do, where you come from, your track record, etc., etc. You now can deliver it on this device or on whatever device you're using now. To watch this, you can use to raise money. And that is how investors want it as well. No investor wants to sit with you, as charming as you may be, for hours on end, or even just for a few minutes to be pitched. Nobody wants to be pitched, right? I mean, this is what has disrupted so many industries. If you I saw this the other day. It's like a second-hand car salesman. You don't want to go onto the lot and be sold a car. You want to be able to look at them more quietly. You don't want to have somebody looking over your shoulder, telling you what to do and direct. You can now invest completely anonymously. And we see that with our clients. It's extraordinary. We'll do Facebook advertising, and somebody who has never before known anything at all about the company will invest. They will be doing something on Facebook on their phones and, looking at funny cat videos, and hey, presto, an ad shows up that says, invest with me. And guess what? They will do. It's really an extraordinarily powerful thing. But in order to be effective, you've really got to have a good website. You've got to have a good website and a good social media presence, because if you are visible online in a way that was never really allowed before, you will be perceived as an industry leader. You will be recognized as an authority in the industry, and people will gravitate to you. You will not have to go out and search for investors anymore. They will come to you. And not only that, but they will be predisposed to invest with you when they arrive, right? That first conversation will not be about your background. It will be, how do I invest? Can I send you a wire or a check, right? Basically, it's a very different relationship that you will have that first time when you meet somebody, or when you meet somebody for the first time. From an investor's perspective, as I mentioned, what's nice is that you have this opportunity to invest completely anonymously. You don't have to sit with, you can basically, what's the word for it? Where you follow somebody around without them knowing. You're not supposed to do it. It's illegal. What's it called? It's like, I can't think of the word off the top of my head, but where you follow somebody around without them knowing. You can do that. Oh my goodness. I mean, in fact, that's what you want to do when you research a deal. When you research a deal, you don't want to have to call that person and have a lengthy conversation. You want to be able to do research online. If you do research, we just recently bought a vacuum cleaner, and it's $400 or $500, whatever it was. And I spent at least an hour researching that thing. I looked at reviews, I looked at the website, I looked at competitors, I looked at all kinds of functionality. I learned everything I needed to. An hour spent in order to spend $500 wisely. Well, if you're looking to raise money, you're asking for tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars, possibly millions of dollars. So an investor is going to want to do research. They want to know who you are. Before you wouldn't exist, right? Before these laws changed, you wouldn't exist unless you met somebody in person. But now, because you're online, what you want to do is make that research job for investors as easy as possible. Preempt every single question that they may want to ask. Preempt those questions. Find out just think about every question that your investors ask and answer them on your website now. That way, when they have that question, and you know that your investors and your prospects, they always ask the same questions. So answer them and put it up on your website. That way, your next investor will go to your website using their phone or their computer, and they'll have their questions answered before they even ask them. So those are kind of high level overview. You are now allowed to invest in, you can raise money online, and you can invest in sponsors all over the country. That's the other thing that's really interesting about this. The amount of information that is available about real estate investing is like nothing that's ever been available before. Before, you had these little high net worth groups of people all over the country, these kind of cliques. And because of the way the law worked, they weren't really allowed to communicate with each other. So investors and sponsors only really knew what was in their immediate area. They knew what preferred returns were, that locally, what kind of splits there were on promotes, what kind of structures, rights, and responsibilities. But these were all hyper local. So if you were fortunate enough to know somebody who had a good deal and wanted to raise money for it, well, that would likely be the only information you would have about their deal would be from them. It would be very difficult to find information other than the information they gave you. Plus, you couldn't compare it against anything. If you were in Los Angeles looking at a deal, there was no way you could see deals in Denver or in Dallas or in Miami or somewhere else. It was just, there was no access. Now, online, you can look at every deal that there is, really quite literally. We consolidate every single crowd-funded deal on the market in America on a regular basis. You can see them all in one place. It's unbelievable. Before, if you were lucky, you might see one right? The guy that you knew from the country club or somewhere else that you met them. Maybe you knew one person, if you were lucky to. Now you can see all of them. There were 155 new sponsors last year alone that started crowdfunding. That's incredible, 155. And that you can find lists of, we publish lists of every single sponsor on an ongoing basis. It's unbelievable. But how do you decide? Now you've got choice overload. Before there was no choice or very little. Now you've got choice overload as an investor. Well, that's where you really want to be looking at sponsors that have made the effort to go out and educate you on who they are. If you go to a website and all that is on it is a name, an image, a couple of nice images and a contact page, that ain't enough these days. It's just not enough. You want to have somebody who has made the effort to educate you. Look at on their website, look at their their resources section, look at their education section. If they don't have one, move on. There's plenty that do. And those that have made the effort to educate you are likely to be diligent or diligent on every other aspect of their business. If they are still willing to spend hours and hours and hours talking to you about a deal, about who they are instead of publishing who they are online, what are they spending their time doing, for crying out loud? You want them to be out there finding deals, working with contractors, raising rents and increasing value, not spending hours and hours and hours of their time speaking to individuals one at a time. It's not a good sign today. Get into the 21st century. So what we can do, it looks like we got, what do we got? So we got Vinky's website. I'm going to show you some examples of best practices. You guys want to see that? How many have we got here? So if you want to see that, then that's what we'll do. If you can give me sharing rights, Vinky, I'll go ahead and share my screen. Sure. And let's go through and just, I'll show you some real kind of high level tips and tricks, not tricks, just tips, best practices that you can take away and implement today. Do it today, do it right now. This will move the needle for you. If you don't have, if anyone does, if there's no more people want to put their website, put it up, don't be embarrassed. I charge $1,000 an hour to consult. You're getting it free. So put it up and I'll give you some insight. So I've got one up here. Hang on, we've got Haven. Let's not go to your Facebook page. Haven Partners Group business site. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Let me just dump some stuff off my screen here. I don't know what this is. God, I'm trying to install some software and it's a disaster. Okay, here we go. And which screen are we on? Okay, so let's make sure I got the right screen. Okay, now you can see Haven, can you? Haven Partners Group. Somebody tell me yes. Vinky, can you see Haven Partners Group?
Yes, I can.
Right, okay. So this was popped into the chat. Let's have a look. So here's the first thing. And by the way, who sent this? Jay. I'm gonna give it to you straight up because you are one of the 99%. So don't fret. I'm going to tell you exactly what you've got to do. So please take this as being constructive. This is 99% of people make the exact same errors as you've got on your website. So I'll tell you the first thing that you've got to do is you absolutely, positively have to have a what? Anybody? A big idea. You've got to have a big idea. And a big idea is something like the classic big ideas that you will know are Nike, just do it. Or Apple, you may be, those of you old enough may remember, think different. So you have about a half second. And okay, I got it. First draft only. Perfect. That's good. Chris Pauling, first. Oh, this is somebody else. All right, so can't be distracted by the chat. I'm very easily distracted. Let me get that out of the way. I'll come back into that in a minute. So you've got Haven Partners Group here, but here, what you have to do on your website in the first nanoseconds that somebody lands on your website, and a nanosecond, for those that don't know, is the amount of time it takes light to travel 1 foot. Right? Very short period of time. And that's about as much time as you have to grab somebody's attention on your website. And what you have to do with your hero image, with the first thing that says here, is you have to enter the conversation that is going on in your prospect's mind. And there is only one thing that is going on in your prospect mind, and that is, what's in it for me? That's all anybody cares about. What's in it for me? Boom. Is there anything? Nah, there's nothing there in it for me. Free money. Ah, okay. That's interesting. I'd like to know more about that. Or earn exceptional returns investing in real estate. Okay, that's interesting. That's something interesting. Or even better, how you can earn exceptional returns in real estate. How we make great returns in real estate for you. Invest in real estate and retire early. How you can. You got to come up with a better, you've got your name over here. You got to think of a tagline. Now, I'm going to shortcut some stuff for you. There are some keywords that you should use. I won't, actually I will. I'll show you a couple of examples. I bet that I won't actually be able to, oh gosh. And now somehow my screen's on dark mode. If anyone knows how to switch that damn thing off, it'd be good to go. All right, so here's Realty Mogul. Right, so there's some keywords that are consistent that you want to be using, okay? There are three keywords. By the way, keyword in SEO and search engine optimization does not mean single words, it means phrases as well. So, but there are three keywords that you want to have on your website. The first keyword is, ideally, and your hero image. I mean, your big idea, right over here, the tagline, and then subhead. Real estate is number one. Make sure you got real estate because you want people to know your website's about real estate. Another one you want to use, if you can, is the word invest or investments or investing, some derivation of the word invest. This is also important so people know it's about real estate and it's about real estate investing of some sort. And the third key term that you want to have on your homepage right at the top to grab people's attention is the word you or your. You want to have these words because with the word you are speaking to the reader. You're addressing them directly. When you include the word real estate, you're telling them what business you're in. And when you use the word investment, you are telling them that your website is about real estate investment. So let's have a look at CrowdStreet. CrowdStreet are the single biggest platform on the planet. What have we got here? Real estate, right? And there's your. And they don't use the word invest, but they do use the word real estate portfolio. So you know what's about, you know that what this website is about. It's about real estate. It's about, it's investing because you've got portfolio and you've got real estate, the word real estate in as well, actually in two places. And they're speaking to me, right? Register for a free account and start building your real estate portfolio. All right, so there's a couple of examples. Let's see, I have one more. Oh, what does Fundrise have? Let's have a quick look. Fundrise do reggae, so they look at non-accredited investors as well. All right, there you go. I mean, real estate and investing, they don't have the word you, but I mean, it's welcome to, right? I mean, they're speaking to investors. It's as clear as that. It's real simple. That's what you got to have. So that's your first thing over here. Let me bring the chat back. so I can see actually who was it I was talking to. Oh, Hamad. Hi, Hamad. Nice to see you. Let's go and have a look at yours. I know you've been doing some work on that. So who is this? Jay. So that's the first thing. You've got your company name up here. That's cool. Let's start talking about. You've got real estate development and investment, but that you want to talk to the reader. You want to talk to the investor directly. Real estate investments for you if you want, and you can keep it simple. And then you've got a call to action, which is good. What happens here? Calendly. Right. So the issue that I have with that is I don't know how it works. I don't know how well this works for you. Does it work well? You know, you're going to end up. First of all, you've got to futz with your. Oh, I see. This is a Google My Business site, is it? You've got to futz about with your calendar, and you don't want to have your calendar free from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. People will think you're not doing anything, right? So you got to block out times, and they book appointments, and then they don't show up. Also, the other thing with this is that, you know, when I go to a website, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to make an appointment to look at my calendar. And actually, what you really want, yes, you want an appointment. You don't really, actually, let's back up. What you want is somebody to send you a check, right? So you got to think about the investor journey. And the investor journey always starts with a really small step. First step, right? Neil Armstrong, one small step for man, one giant step for mankind, right? It's the same in real estate investing. That first small step is only one thing you want from somebody the first time: name and email address. As soon as you got the name and email address, now you've got them. Now you want to nurture them slowly. Don't go straight to a phone call, for crying out loud. Who the heck is it? You don't know who it is. It could be anybody. How many times is this a waste of time, right, to book this appointment? How do we do this? Can I go straight to booking an appointment? Strategy session. I can. Let's see. I'm not going to book this. What do you want to prepare? What's the most blood? I think. Okay. So look, the first thing that you want to have here is give me your name and email address. That's all you want. And you entice that out of somebody by creating, you can create lead magnets. It might be a white paper. It could be access to a webinar. It could be a case study. Case studies are great, actually. There's all kinds of things. And then what you do when they sign up is you automate ideally 3 emails that go out over 3 days or 5 days or 6 days that provide more value. Thanks so much for signing up. Here's the white paper I offered. Day 2. Thanks for the thing. I hope you enjoyed the white paper. Here's a webinar that explains the tax benefits that you can get from investing in real estate. And the third one, you might say, here's an article I wrote about how to use your self-directed IRA to invest in anything. Just high value, really good faith, valuable content. Now you start to develop a relationship. And hey, guess what? You don't need to talk to them. They will build a relationship with you. They will look on their phone and they will get to know, like, and trust you without actually having to talk to you, which is perfect. It's much better. This is 101. You really want to have people doing this hundreds of times at any one time. All right, so let's have a look at the next one. This is from Chris Pauling, specialty investments. Leave that one open. Let's have a quick look at specialty investments. Okay. All right. So here, like I told you, this is a 99.9% of people make the same. All right. It's okay. It's kind of a standard thing. You've got that. So what does this tell me? Preserve, grow, create. What? What are we investing? I don't even know what are we investing in? So what you want to do over here, Chris, put this beautiful, really nice logo over here. Put it over here, right, as your return home, specialty investment group. So put this over here. move this stuff over here. So it's all here in the same place and easy to navigate to. Or you could put this over here. That's fine. That goes back. And get yourself a big idea, a tagline. I'm just pulling everybody's pictures back over. Okay, moving things around so I can see everything. Get yourself a tagline that tells people, what is this website about? Real estate investing. I want you to invest with me. And why is it worth? Why should I spend another half second on your website? That's what you speak to, that conversation that they're having. What's in it for me? Literally, what are you going to give them? Why should they stay longer? You've got a great logo. Use it somewhere else. Our mission, invest. Right. So now your first CTA. Think about this, Chris. Think about this. So you're old enough, I can tell from the gray hairs that you're trying to hide, as I am, by shaving it off. You're old enough that you know, and have probably been in the business long enough, that you know that before 2012, you had to meet people in person, right, Chris? You had to meet them in person. It was the only way to do it. You call your lawyer, you call your tax accountant, you call anybody, you go to the country club, you join a foursome, and then you arrange to meet with someone. Well, at that first meeting, the landing on your website is the equivalent of that first meeting. It's just in the digital world. In fact, nothing's really changed. You just think about human relationships. This is just transferred to the digital realm. So when somebody lands on your website, that is that first meeting. So think about it. At that first meeting, when you meet somebody, they say, hello, nice to meet you. In the good old days, you'd actually shake hands, right? You'd sit down for a meal or for a meeting in a room. The first thing that you say to them is not invest now, right? You don't say that first. You don't say, here, how much do you want to invest? Yeah, how much do you want to invest? Nice to meet you. How much do you want to give me? You don't do that. It's not natural. The first thing you say is, here, so nice to meet you. I brought you something. I know you're interested in investing. It's a book I just read. I just read this amazing book. And, John told me all about you. And I thought you might like this book. So here, take that and read it later. You'll enjoy it. Boom. Now, suddenly, this guy's indebted to you. Immediately, they are indebted in a very nice, gentle way. And now they are building a psychological desire to reciprocate. They want to do something for you too. So the first thing that you want to have on your website, first of all, I love your colors, Chris, but you want to have something that really stands out here, that is starkly different against the black background. So you want to have, you can look these things up. Best colors, hang on, for CTAs. And gosh, I wish this would start. How do I get out of this? I don't have to switch this off. Hide, blah, blah, blah. Off. Turn the damn thing off. Sorry about that. So here, look, I mean, you can find these things all the time. I tell you the best place to go to find the best CTA colors. The best place? Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com and snaffle their colors, because they've spent, $800 gazillion figuring out how people buy the best. So there you go. They've actually changed their CTAs to this bright yellow. Used to be a slightly different color. You can see this one. They want me to sign in. This used to be the order button, but they've actually changed it up recently, I noticed, to this bright yellow. And this is kind of cool too. What are Amazon's button colors? This is a great way to go as well. And here you can get the hexes. Look at that. There's the hex. So they'll give you the hex. If Amazon are using this color, it's actually very similar to your colors, actually, Paul. You want to have something a bit different. But you can find anyone else, right? Whoever's got some good colors, just grab the color, look up, see what you can figure out. And some of them will actually give you the hexes. But that's what you want here. You want something that stands out I personally like red. I use red. It works fine for us. You can use blue. I won't get into that. It's a bit of a rabbit hole. But the point is that what you want here is something that says, here, click here to get something really cool and free from me that's going to be very valuable for you. And in return for that, give me your name and email address, right? That's all you want there. You can then, and then you start to develop the relationship. Then you send them deliver a white paper, a case study, a couple more emails, add them to your newsletter, right? So that's what you want over there. Now, let's move on from that theme and let's have a look at another website. Chris, first draft only. Okay, so that's an important thing for you, all right? That's definitely one. Okay, so here's Hamad. Nice to see you. It's been a while. You're starting to show up everywhere as well, Hamad. It's a good thing. You
starting to see it.
You should start ask people every time you show up, you want a nickel. Okay, so that's an important thing. All right, so I believe in hands-off investment without the stress. We vigorously curate commercial real estate for you. Okay, so you've got everything well done. You've obviously either been paying attention to what I say, which I do hope is what you've been doing, or you've figured it out for yourself. But here we've got this nice thing. We've got the word investment, we've got real estate, and we've got the word or derivation of the word you, which is great. But Mr. Khan, where is your CTA? Oh my goodness me. Come on, you've heard me talking often enough. You want to get yourself a CTA here, sign up to learn more or something like that.
So, as soon as you start scrolling, it pops up on the right-hand side. I used to have it and I got told that it was getting too busy. That's why I removed it and did the down arrow, but I can definitely bring it back.
You absolutely need it. And if it's getting too busy, what I would recommend is just reducing this a little bit. Just see if you can reduce the language here. Yeah. But you need a CTA. You've got to have a CTA. It's the
I can put it where the down arrow is right now. That's where I had it.
But now I've got to do work to get there. Where I still don't. Is this it here? Free book series? Okay. Yeah. That's really cool. Look at that. That's really, really cool. You've got a bunch of really cool freebies. Download it. This is just a small thing, Hamad, but the fewer fields that you can ask for at the first instant, the better. You can always get this information later. Yeah. I don't know. It's like I don't want to be an arse or anything. I'm English, so I try to be courteous all the time. But if I'm sending somebody an email, I'm always going to address them by their first name. I'm not ever going to write to Mr. Khan, right? Maybe, but it would create distance between us, right? That kind of formality. I want to build trust. So I want to address you by your first name. So you want to make it as few fields as possible at the first ask. I recommend first name and email. That's all you need. If you want, you can go and I've actually, because I have so many different, we're actually changing this up, it's going to change, but I've actually added a field because I need to segregate, we raise money for clients and we attract developers as well. So I do need a little extra information so that I can, but this isn't a mandatory field, I don't think. But I ask for name, email address, and just one more field. It's an easy thing to do. But I don't ask for last name. I can get that later, but I never use it. The only time I'm ever going to learn or need anybody's last name is when they write a check. Right at the end of the day. I don't want to be rude or anything, but this is digital marketing. So you want to have a CTA. You do need it, Hamad. That's important. Get that out there. And that's going to help you to. That's going to help you to do some converting. Somebody's asking about Wappalizer. I just like, because we build systems for clients, I just like to see, before I connect with them, I like to get a kind of a deep look into how they built their current infrastructure. So that just helps me to get that. Okay, Loomba. I mean, Vinky, you've been very patient. All right, let's have a look at your website. Here we go. Okay, so now have you got yours? I'm always interested to see how these things do. Hang on, I've got all kinds of chat stuff going on. Wait a minute. Let's have a quick look. It's actually not the best. All right, so you've got a WordPress site. That's good. There are some, you know, they're not all perfect. These kind of analytics tools, and I basically just look to see how the thing's built. Okay, so let's see. Break free of the daily grind. By what? Running over a bridge? What is this site about? Are we talking about, what are we? Is this a running site? What is this site about? Loomba, this is kind of cool. In the Vinky, this is kind of cool about that, but are you a real estate investing site? I don't know. What is it? I have no idea. So that we're back to this idea of having a headline and a subline that speak directly to, you know, here you could extend this to say break through the daily grind by investing in commercial real estate or something, right? That's really what you want. Or you can break free of the daily grind by investing in commercial real estate. So that's what you want to have here. And you've got, what have we got here? Explore wealth building strategies today, learn more. Okay, I would put that much more up and center. I'm not sure why it's loading like that. So you want to have that learn more button over here, and you want to have it in a more contrasty color. You want a nice bright color over here that will contrast. And then you don't want to provide anything. I see. Yeah, too much information. Why do you need all this? You don't need any of this. Not to start, none of this. You don't. All right, maybe accredited investor. Are you a keep it set? How much you're looking to invest? Why? Forget it. I'm not interested in giving you that information. I'm done. And it's mandatory. New option. I don't know. You made it a mandatory field. This is too much to ask. Name and email address. Thank you. Here is, as Hamad has, here are your free books. That's awesome. Except I can't find it. Oh, there it is. That's fantastic. Heck yeah. Learn now and get that. Gosh, I'm going to download those now. Let's see what happens. Okay, start learning now. Perfect. Okay. You're welcome. Please check your email. Don't forget to whitelist. Okay, so we'll go and have a look at that later. So you've got an automated response in there. You need something like that as well. By the way, I do have a pet peeve, and that is, to the extent possible, don't use actors. You're okay, this is okay, but you've got enough good photography of your own buildings, professional photography, your own buildings and your own deals. Use your own photography. Vinky is better to do. It creates consistency anyway. Not sure why it's loading so slowly. Who are we? How it works? Sign up, connect, invest. Okay. Mission. Oh, here. You've hidden it all the way down here. This is what you want to have right at the top, Vinky. Seriously. Get a nice button. Get your free ebook on. It doesn't say what it's about, and it's almost impossible to see. Let's zoom in. I'm not sure if I'm even going to be able to see it this way. What is my free ebook? I'm not going to be able to do that. Let me just zoom out.
Is it seven
reasons why real estate syndication build long-term wealth. Get that right up here. Vinky Loomba.
Yeah, I have it as a lead magnet in the when you get to my website.
Get it right up here. I can barely hear you. This is where you want it. And again, use your images.
Okay.
Where the heck is this? What city is this? You don't know, do you?
No.
Use your pictures. Come on, use pictures that you know. This is just some. Why? Is this one of your deals?
No.
Use one of your deals.
Okay.
Right? Use your deal. Start every single touch with your investor. This is a cool picture. It'd be better if it was you doing the run than that guy. Use pictures that are of your properties. Start building the relationship, set expectations. Do you what? I'm not sure what this is telling me. Exactly. Do you invest in, am I going to buy one of these? What's going on here? Now, the other thing that you need to have, okay, you have resources, which is good. This is the fuel that powers. You want to reset this. It looks like it's linked, but it's not up here. Oh, blog, let's have a look. I'm going to wrap up now. Yeah, so here's your blog. Great. So you've got some nice, well, you've got 6 articles. You really want to have vastly more. And again, get some of pictures of your own properties. This is, you know, I don't know, is this a site for, is this about yoga? What's your website about? Right? Get a picture of one of your apartment buildings. I bet you've got some awesome assets that you can share before and after, whatever. You've got a little article here, pre-qualified to join, like to know more. Okay, 2 links. Now what happens? Get another ginormous thing here. It's too complicated. You're going to put people off. But this is where you want to have, what did I go to? This is where you want to have massive amounts of content. Is going to be on your resources page. You want to, this is where you answer all their questions proactively. Right, so let's leave it there. If you got any questions, anybody, I've got another 10 minutes. Let's do, we can do any Qs, and I'm happy to give you some A's.
Great. I have one question for you before anybody else asks. You said earlier, these days it's very easy to raise capital via, you know, the social media tools or website. So, but then again, we need to have for 506B, for example, we need to have the 3-point conversation with our investors. How do you mitigate that?
So why do 506Cs? So why are you doing 506Bs anyway? So I don't know why anybody does a B these days.
That's true too, yes.
Seriously, just don't do Bs anymore. You need to, yeah. There's no point.
Okay. Next
question. You're limiting yourself with a B. You can't advertise, you can't solicit. Do Cs. All right, any more questions?
I think there was a question from Juan regarding, I think I was kicked out of Zoom and I can see the question. Juan, you want to unmute yourself and ask? You were asking about some app, right, that Adam's using?
Yeah, I talked about that, Wapalizer. Yeah, it's a distraction. It's unless you're in the business of building websites and digital marketing systems, it's a distraction. I tell you what, I will give you a really good tool though. One of the single most important things is email. That's why you're trying to grab emails. You're trying to get email addresses so you can start establishing relationships with people. So once you got somebody's email address, the next thing that you want is to be sending them emails, right? So the first thing, when somebody signs up on your website, you want to start sending them automated emails. And one of the most important things is email subject line. If you don't get a good subject line to start with, they will not, they won't even open the email. So here's an awesome, this is one of my favorite things. I actually learned this from Jessica Clays at Bigger Pockets. I interviewed her for my website. I was actually writing a lot of articles. I'll put it in the chat. I was actually writing a lot of articles for Bigger Pockets. And why is that not pasting? Let's try that again. Copy. And she said that mine got the highest score. And I asked her, what did she mean? And she said she used this tool. So this is an awesome tool. It's in the chat. And you know how, look at this, to make money in real estate. Oh, blast. Sorry. Okay, you know what wants me to redo this. I don't know why. I never get emails from them. Maybe they sell my email or something. 94 points. All right, so how to make money in real estate is a great subject line. Mucho moolah. Let's see what that does in real estate. A+. I was sure that was going to go down. Okay, what about this? I know this is not going to work. Oh, what happened? I'm in the wrong place. That's hilarious. It actually went up. Let's see. That's even higher. Good grief. Okay. I'm accidentally discovering even better ways to do it. There we go. So it dropped down because it doesn't like the exclamation point. It doesn't like the caps. Okay, scannability. So then you have all these other really cool, analytics. You want to be writing at as low a grade level as possible because you are speaking to the lowest common denominator. Don't worry. You don't want to impress people. You want to sell, right? You can impress them later. The first contact, just grab them. And the lower grade level you can write at to start with, do so. All right, anyway, so that's a really cool tool. Strongly recommend it. Somebody's asked for 506C, even if a private fund LP cap. Not sure what cap is. Not actually advertising to be regulation compliant and to qualify best investment actions. Usually private correspondence and referrals and building no 506 form. Oh, right. I'm not a lawyer, so don't take any, basically don't take any of my advice seriously anyway. You get what you pay for, and my advice is free. That's all I'd say. Yeah, 506Cs, you still need a securities attorney. Don't mess about without talking to one, but you can do marketing. All right. What else? Any other questions before we wrap up?
One more question. You said collect the email. So when we collect the email, so how we convert those emails into the strong connections or the bad relationships? You know, how many emails do we have to send them that tells them, okay, this person is okay to invest with?
Yeah, so it really depends. I mean, you know, we have clients who have been sending emails to the same several thousand people for years and years and years. And after 4 years, somebody pops up and invests. And at the same time, we'll run some Facebook ads and someone will invest within 48 hours of first contact. So you never know. You absolutely never, ever know where it's coming from. And what I find the coolest thing is that it usually comes out of nowhere, you know, where you least expect. I don't know, just the most strangest places. You've just got to be everywhere all the time. Social media, website needs to be a good landing page, or not a good landing page, it needs to be a good resource. And then people coming to your website, they'll develop a relationship with you. And it's just, these days it's mandatory. Somebody asked here, Ivan, what do you think of having a top of funnel focus via social media? Example, providing quality content on social media instead of having it on your website. Right, Ivan Sison. Is that pronounced correctly? That is a superb question. And the answer to your question is like this. Everything, your website should be the motherlode of all information. So everything should be on your website, period. This is where you want people to travel to so that they can learn more about you, so that they can navigate all the resources that you have, so that they can establish a relationship with you, just like I have on my website. And the way you use social media is not, where's everybody gone? is not instead of a website. Everything on social media is top of funnel. So it should be directing back to your website. So let's have a quick look. Sorry, what a kerfuffle here. Let's just look at this, and we'll have a quick look down here. So everything on your website should be top of funnel. So I have a lot of funnels. So not everything goes to the website, but that's just because my systems are very, very advanced. But to get started with, you want to have this CTA is for my book Syndicate, right? So it could be on the website. It's actually a landing page because it's another thing. Oh, here's another. This one's for another book. So structuring real estate deals, right? This is a podcast. Let's see.
Are you sharing, Adam? We are not seeing anything.
Oh, dear me. Sorry. See what happens? Sorry about that. All right. I was hoping a little bit of telepathy was going to work there. Wait a minute. Page 2. Here we go. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so right, sorry about that. So here are the I've got all these pictures of everybody as well. Let me see if we put this out. There we go. So here are all the you want to have it on your website. You want to have all your high-value content on your website with CTAs, calls to action, embedded in them, right? Here's a sign-up form here. Again, I've just got a lot of stuff going, but if you're just getting started, basic rule, you want to have content with CTAs up on your website inside all of the content, and then on social, let's wrap up here. On social, what you want, here's my LinkedIn profile. Everything has a call to action. Watch more here. So a little bit of a blurb, and then watch more here. And this actually goes to YouTube because this is just how we post the podcast. But inside here are all the CTAs. So are you a developer? Are you an investor? Investor, give me your name and email address, and I'll teach you something cool about real estate, right? The hidden secrets to success in real estate. So that's a top of funnel event there. Let's see what else. There's another one from Sasha. CrowdStreet. Oh, this is CrowdStreet published this yesterday. This is kind of cool, actually. But what's nice about this was in RE Journals. They actually included, it's not just the nicest, kindest thing. They actually produced they included a link to my book. How nice of them. And then CrowdStreet posted that yesterday. So that's why that's in my feed. But let's just have another quick look. So whoever asked this question, Ivan. So what social does is it just recreates some of the pages on your website just to entice people to go to your website. That's what this is, another landing page. Sorry, it's just because I've got so much. I'll see if I can find distress. What's this one? This one's, I'm sure this is an article. Yeah. So here, this one redirects you to an article. And hey, guess what? You can now start navigating to other articles on the website. This probably is another, yeah. So this is, oh, here's actually an article. This is an external link. But this is how you end up. It's like the way the brain works. You know, your thoughts go in this direction, then that direction, and somewhere else. So all your articles want to be linking to other articles on your website, just like this. And that way, users can navigate around your website, learn more, establish a deeper relationship. But it really starts on social media. So don't post full content on social, but instead post enticing content that brings you back to your website. All right, you want people on your website, you want them engaged right there. That's what I got. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh, that's a great one. Anybody has any questions, please unmute yourself and ask. This is your time.
Binky. I've been traveling today, so I do need to get to I've got like 800 emails I need to get to. So I'm more than happy to answer any questions. If anyone has them, you can go ahead and email me directly. It's perfectly fine. Can I mention a webinar that I've got? It's actually for investors. Binky, is that okay?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Right, so I am actually, let me see if I can find this just a minute. It's called, there we are. So here we are. So I am actually producing a webinar, and I will let you into a secret. This is entirely for investors. But what's cool about this, here's a link. Yeah, so go ahead and sign up. I think it's ready. Sign up for that. But what's cool about this webinar is I'm actually testing some new marketing. So I have about 6 different sources that we're promoting this through all over the country. By using UTM codes, which is a way of tracking user behavior, where users come from when they land on your website. I'm going to be able to see which works the best, which resource works the best. So I think there's 6. I think we're sending out probably over the next 2 weeks over 1 million emails to this webinar. So jump on it. There's going to be a Q&A at the end. I'll go as long as you want then, because I will actually have time. And it is hyper dense with information on why you should invest in real estate, how crowdfunding has come to dominate the industry. I share 3 case studies from clients, actually. It's the first time I'm sharing information like that. And then we go to a Q&A. A lot of information. It's information rich in that. It's long. It's over an hour. But if you register, you'll get a link and you can watch it at 2x speed if you want.
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much for sharing that information. Yeah. And thanks so much for joining us today. Despite your travel and busy schedule, you made it on time.
It's a real pleasure.
Thank
you. I really hope that everyone got some value out of it. I do sign up. If you've not done, do sign up for the newsletter, at least on Gower Crowd. We send out, it's a free newsletter, and we send information on everything that's going on in real estate crowdfunding on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's true. I vouch for that because I do get your newsletters and it's very informative. So please do sign up. And reach out to Adam directly if you have any questions.